Hello, welcome to the Lucozade Sport Centre. Today, joining us, we have Irish women's rugby captain Niamh Briggs. Niamh, you're very welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Delighted to be here.
It's great to have you here. Jeez, it's an honour. After everything that's kind of happened recently, you got your 50th cap.
Yeah.
You demolished the Six Nations.
We did well.
It was amazing. Like, you were and are the pride of the country, and you know, you brought Irish women's rugby into
Bringing
a real...
out the emotional side of me right now.
I don't want to make you cry right at the start of the interview.
No, it was fantastic. Look, it was a brilliant Six Nations campaign, especially when we had so many changes and, you know, loads of new caps and that kind of stuff. So, look, it was great. It was great for the girls. They worked incredibly hard after the World Cup, so it was brilliant.
It's absolutely... I mean, you've had a great career. What would you say is your fondest sporting memory? I mean, looking across everything.
Oh God, I suppose getting a chance to lift the cup in Scotland was amazing. Grand Slam, got to play in Croke Park at Waterford. Like, there's just so many of them. I probably lifted the Six Nations Cup with the girls. Yeah, in March. It's really good.
Pretty amazing, and obviously the double whammy of the women's and the men's is huge.
I know. We just felt like they were getting a lot of attention. So we need to steal their thunder a little bit.
I think you did the right thing.
So no, it was great. Look, it was fantastic. They were a massive inspiration to us before we watched. Well, the girls watched the game. I was too nervous, so the girls watched the game, and look, it was to know that they could go out and play like they did, score the points that they did. It was really, a big inspiration for us.
And would you get nervous before games? Do you?
Yeah. Very bad, yeah. I'd be like a little Pocahontas in the corner.
Pocahontas?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a new one. I think that has to be a hashtag. Hashtag Pocahontas.
Yeah, no, I do get nervous, yeah. I feel that they're good, because you're running the adrenaline of it, and you're nervous, it's a good thing, so, yeah.
I mean, would you be the type of captain that you'd stand in front of the girls in the change room before you give the big inspirational speech?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends what's needed. The girls are really, really good. We've got so many girls in the squad that are like really good leaders and can do that kind of thing. So yeah, obviously before we go out we might have a word or two, but it's never like any rah let's kill somebody type thing. It's normally just focus on our jobs. We know what we're doing, and look, it's usually calm and collected. You're
not giving them the whole like fear of God kind of thing,
no, I'm not. That's not really my style. I don't think, but Tom does enough of that for us as coach, so fear of God of him.
You play rugby, but if you could play any other sport, what would you play?
Probably Gaelic football.
Gaelic football? Have you played before?
Yeah, I played with Waterford up until 2010. It just obviously rugby was just too much, and it was. I still play a little bit of club. I really enjoy that.
Going back to rugby, you guys, or you ladies, I should say, have had incredible results and success. You beat the All Blacks, which is something, that's no Irish man could say that unless it was the Munster teams of back in the day.
Obviously that day was great. It really cemented our place in rugby across the world, and people sat up and took notice of us then, after winning the Grand Slam in 2013. I think a lot of people might have thought it was just a flash in the pan or a one-off, so to be able to back it up was great. But that was probably the most surreal game ever, because you go out, you're standing there in front of the haka, it was unreal, and then, everybody was just on the same wavelength in just terms of the whole squad. We just knew what was happening, and it was great.
I think it'd be an amazing way to derail the haka if you just went, sorry, 1 sec, and just took a selfie with them. That would demolish them.
I'd hate to see how they would react to that.
I don't know if they'd know how to. I mean, I don't think when they were designing the haka back in war days,
some sort of if you cross the line, or if they feel you're not showing respect, they probably get into a huddle and be like, that number 15.
Going for her. Yeah. You're in the Irish camp.
Yeah.
What is the emphasis on nutrition, hydration, sleep, all that? Off the pitch, what emphasis is being put on?
Yeah, because we obviously work full-time jobs, and we train extremely hard. I think recovery is always important for us, and those type of things. So drinking enough or maintaining your hydration.
So hydration is just a huge factor.
Yeah, basically when we go in and we're people haven't passed their hydration test, name goes up on the board.
There's a wall of shame.
Name and shame, and because look, we're not, you're more susceptible to injuries, and you don't perform as well, and you're not hydrated, and every little fine margin at this level counts. So it's gotta be really important for us.
Obviously, rugby isn't always seen as a girly sport.
No.
And between yourselves and Katie Taylor, there's been a lot of kind of the ladies teams and the lady athletes are doing incredible stuff at the moment. It's probably playing a huge inspiration to younger girls coming into it. How does it feel to be like a central part of that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, I think when I was growing up, it was Sonia O'Sullivan, and outside of that, bar a couple of, you know, a few of the Waterford ladies footballers, I didn't really know anybody else, and so that's what was really important. And I think that young girls need somebody to aspire to, and if we can help that along the way, well, then all the better for it. But even if it's not us, if it's Kate Taylor or Stephanie Roach or any other Cork ladies football team or whoever it is, it's important that they have someone to aspire to, because it's important that they get out and become active.
So, women's rugby at the moment isn't listed as a professional sport in Ireland, at the very least. I know some of the English women's were offered contracts last year, was it?
Last year, yeah, after World Cup, September.
Yeah. Can you see women's rugby becoming professional in Ireland in the next few years?
Maybe definitely down the road. I do think we can, but at the moment, I don't think we're there yet. In terms of, we don't have a player base that's big enough. You know, England probably have 20,000 girls playing rugby.
Right.
We're nowhere near that. So, you know, in order for our club structure and our provincial structure to survive, we need more girls playing rugby. So at the moment, no. I know our sevens girls are contracted under, you know, to a certain amount of hours of training a day. Like they'll, you know, work or do college in the morning and then train in the afternoon. But it's not like what England are on, and a couple of other countries are starting to follow suit there. But a lot of those countries have, you know, good foundations underneath them, and we haven't that yet.
You're involved and you have an interest in a lot of different sports. How do you think the Irish team got on in the recent Cricket World Cup?
Yeah, look, I think, you know, they did fantastically well in terms of they had some very big performances and then some ones that probably didn't go their way. But they generated a big amount of interest, and that's what they need to do. And I know that in terms of going forward for the next World Cups and stuff like that, the cricket board, international board, are trying to, you know, to lower the numbers, so therefore Ireland wouldn't then get through because they're not a first class cricketing nation. And I think that the likes of Ireland, you know, have really led the way in terms of, well, look, if you give us the time, if you give us, you know, opportunities to get to the stage, we can perform, and they did. We've some fantastic players, and when you come back and you see that, you know, a couple of more have signed up over in England, it's great. It's great. So yeah, look, they can be massively proud, and I think that the way the country got behind them as well, there was a big bandwagon going, and
it's one thing, you know,
we're great to support, aren't we?
Whenever Ireland does well, there is an army of supporters, be it Conor McGregor in the UFC, be it you guys in women's rugby, be it cricket, be it swimming.
It's great. In fairness, we're a great sporting nation, because we punch above our weight a bit, you know, because we're small.
We do.
We punch above our weight a lot, because we are a small nation, but no, the cricketers, they're good. I saw them this morning at DCU training, and I was
really?
starstruck.
Were you stalking a little bit, were you? Or?
No, I was training there afterwards.
Okay.
So I was a bit like, oh my God.
Well, I think success is the best advertisement for any sport. And as you said, across the board, Ireland do punch above their weight.
Definitely.
So Niamh, we've had a brilliant chat. And we have a lot of pro athletes sitting in the hot seat here in the Lucozade Sport Centre. We want to find a challenge that puts everyone on the same level. And we've come up with it. It's called Hoop There It Is.
Hoop, hoop.
So you've got 30 seconds. Can we get a timer for 30 seconds? Oh, no. Come at me!
Come on.
Oh,
this is really hard.
It is really hard.
I'm actually, two off the rim. That almost went in. That almost went in. Do I get a half point for hitting the back?
I don't know. 5 seconds left.
Oh no!
4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure we'll see you again soon, whether it's making arrests as a guard in Limerick or captaining the Irish team to what no doubt will be another couple of successful seasons. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for tuning into Lucozade Sport Centre. See you again.